If someone asked you to name an aspect of Chinese culture, what would come to mind? The panda? Maybe Kung Fu? Or perhaps Kung Fu Panda? Well, either way, Kung Fu is probably pretty high on the list. Now, Kung Fu used to be a closely guarded secret of the Chinese. Like its depiction in many 70s Kung Fu movies, if you wanted to learn Kung Fu properly, you would have to make a trek to some mountaintop or live for a few years in a Shaolin temple. And it wasn't until in the last few decades that Kung Fu masters began to teach the guarded secrets of the martial arts to outsiders. And by that I mean Westerners. However, today it seems that teaching Kung Fu to Westerners and making it accessible to foreigners may be the only way to save some forms of the martial arts from extinction. According to a Weibo post that cites CNN, a 73-year-old man in Hong Kong named Lam Chun-fei is the practitioner of a 300-year-old Kung Fu style known as Hong Kun, and it's a dying art. Master Lam is the son of a student to Chinese martial arts legend Wang Fei-hong. If that name sounds familiar, it's because he's been immortalized through a series of Kung Fu films, with the most popular being a series where Wang was portrayed by Jet Li. Now, to help revive the art, Master Lam has co-authored the world's first English language manual on the ancient Kung Fu style that has been in his family for more than 3 generations. But why are foreigners more enthusiastic about Chinese Kung Fu than the Chinese themselves? Well, Weibo users came up with their own theories. Now let's take a look at a few of them.
Chinese people do not pay much attention to a lot of traditional culture. They take them for granted. Instead, Chinese people love foreign culture. What I find interesting is that there are a lot of martial arts schools in the U.S. A lot of children take up a form of martial arts as an after-school activity. In Hong Kong, there are also many martial arts schools, but not as many in the U.S. The Hong Kong schools are more about preserving culture as opposed to an after-school activity. There are many aspects of traditional Chinese culture that foreigners treasure, but we treat like trash. Chinese people are not as well made physically as Westerners. Chinese people also do not like to exercise as much as Westerners. Such a shame. The development of Kung Fu is more prosperous in foreign countries than it is in China. In the old days, by training your body to become able and healthy, you also help to make the country strong. However, today, a strong country is dependent on policy and wisdom of the rulers. Kung Fu is no match for a bullet, and having a lot of people will not win against technology. Honestly, I don't think Kung Fu culture can last much longer. Might as well take this opportunity to make as much money from foreigners as possible.
Well, those are pretty valid theories. But Master Lam has his own, and it's much simpler. Master Lam believes that modern distractions like video games are sapping the focus of today's young people. Fewer kids today are able to learn martial arts such as the Hong Kun, which require learning as many as 300 movements in a single set. They much prefer to live out their Kung Fu fantasies online through video games.